know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Cult of the Living Dead.
Started. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Cult of the Living Dead. We took a little break. Life happened, so we took a little bit of a pause, but we are back at it again with the conclusion of our Lynchiverse, the last movie in Mr. David Lynch's filmography that doesn't have Twin Peaks in the name because we haven't seen that show. So we're not covering Twin Peaks Firewalker or whatever.
Firewalk with me.
There you go. But we were watching Lost Highway, the 1997 film. As always, I am your host, The Dale, followed by my co-host, Mr. Cea.
Hello.
Welcome back, guys. Juan is still out and about. We hope to have an update from him down in Uruguay shortly, but he is busy attending the various World Cup matches representing for his country.
World Cup. Is Uruguay still in the World Cup?
I don't even, were they in it at all to begin with? I know Paraguay. I know Paraguay was.
I don't even know. Let me see. Hold on. Oh yeah, they were eliminated.
Oh, they were in it though. Good for them. Good for you, Tuan.
Yeah, hell yeah, Twan. Get that shit.
Probably put together a solid squad.
Yeah.
Lost Highway though. The Lynchiverse is concluded. I feel a little empty now. Not gonna lie. David Lynch has been quite the character for this podcast. A love and hate relationship, which is
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning, yeah. No, I think we started off good with Eraserhead. I think once we got to Mulholland Drive, it was kind of like, okay, I don't know if I like this guy's movies.
Yeah.
Like this is his, I remember I was like, this is his magnum opus? This is his like best film?
Yeah. I feel like though, but he's been around since we started. And it's been a cool journey. I kinda want to like revisit some of his movies now that we're done, just to see if I have like a different viewpoint on them.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But yeah, that's a side project that
time to do. We're for sure gonna come back and we're gonna do our discussion of the entire Lynchiverse.
Oh, we should tier rank them.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. Because I feel like an episode dedicated to all his films is kind of necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Lynch, if this is your first time joining us, you've never heard of David Lynch. He's directed quite a number of films. He started off with Eraserhead. It was his first movie, a movie that all three of us really liked. But then he's also done some like more critically acclaimed stuff like The Elephant Man, Straight Story, and some big flops like Dune. He writes pretty much all of his stuff. I think Dune and Wild at Heart were the only ones that he didn't like write necessarily. I think he did the screenplay for Wild at Heart, but that one was based on a book.
And Straight Story.
And I also think Elephant Man was also an adaptation of a book, but he took some liberties. But this one he wrote in conjunction with Barry Gifford, who also worked with him on Wild at Heart. And Barry Gifford also worked on the screenplay for Perdita Durango.
Hell yeah.
And of course, the music is done by Mr. Angelo Badalamenti, a longtime collaborator of Lynch. He basically did all his movies after Dune. So they worked on pretty much his entire filmography together.
He's a loyal dude.
Yeah, they must have been homies. I don't remember seeing him in this movie. He usually makes a cameo, but I don't remember catching him in this one.
I didn't look out for him.
Yeah, me neither. There was quite a few cameos in this movie, though.
There was, yeah.
Let's do the cast and crew. So it stars the president himself. Since we just had Independence Day, Mr. Bill Pullman.
God bless Bill Pullman.
As Fred Madison. He's kind of like, this movie's kind of split up into like story A, story B, and he's like the main star of story A. But he's been in Independence Day, great film. If you didn't watch it this 4th of July, I didn't watch it either, but it's a great 4th of July movie. It's one of the all-time great alien movies, I would argue. one of the best sci-fi blockbusters of all time. He was also in Spaceballs, hilarious Mel Brooks movies, making fun of Star Wars. And he was in Equalizer 1 and 2. I just saw those movies and I don't remember seeing him in the Equalizer, but apparently he's in it.
Who the fuck is Bill Pullman in the Equalizer movies? There's no way.
Unless I read that wrong, but that's what I saw. I was like, who the fuck is Bill Pullman in Equalizer?
He's Brian Plummer. Who the hell is Brian Plummer? Well, he's probably a side character.
Probably, because I remember Equalizer being it's like about Russian dudes, like the Russian bad guys. And I'm like, who does he talk to other than the chick from Kick-Ass in that movie?
Yeah, Chloe Moretz. I don't even know, dude. He's probably in there just hanging out in the background.
Great actor though. I like Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. So yeah, Bill Pullman's fantastic.
He's not an A tier actor. I'd say he's more of like a B tier actor, but he's a great B tier actor.
I also think he brings up a lot of nostalgia for me just from like Casper, Independence Day.
Oh, that's right. He's also in Casper. That's right.
You know, he was in The Grudge. He was in like a lot of movies when we were growing up.
That's right. He was in The Grudge. Yeah, he's always like a great supporting character.
Yeah.
And then we had, what were you saying?
Early 2000s, like supporting.
Like mid 90s to early 2000s. It's like
it's
Bill Pullman's heyday.
Pullman, yeah.
And then we had a fan favorite on the pod, Miss Tastes Like a Peach herself, Patricia Arquette.
She's on fire in this movie.
She is, as Renee Madison and Alice Waterfield. She plays twins in this movie. Wakefield, sorry. Wakefield. She is a bombshell in this movie. I mean, she's naked like half the movie. I'll just say it.
She is, yeah.
She's very attractive in this movie. I would say her second most attractive role outside of playing Alabama in True Romance. Could be a hot take. But she was in True Romance. She's probably most famous for being in Severance. She plays what's her character? She's the bad guy in the first season.
Mrs.
Also the neighbor.
Miss Selving or
Miss Selving
or Miss Cobell.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then she was in most recently. I just saw this movie. They Will Kill You.
Yeah,
she's the bad guy in that movie. That was a cool movie.
Yo, that movie surprised the shit out of me.
Solid.
I saw Ready or Not 2.
I was deciding between those two movies. I flipped a coin and I was like, all right, they will kill you. Let's check it out. I want like a fun, goofy, like horror kick-ass movie.
I feel like they will Ready or Not 1. They Will Kill You feels more like Ready or Not 1. So it feels more fun, like there's crazy action going on. Like that movie was so cool. So cool.
Super cool. Had like Kill Bill style, like blood sequences. It was great. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it did. I really like seeing what's the name of the main actress? Zazie Beetz.
I didn't recognize her from anything.
She was in Deadpool. She's Domino. Remember the chick whose powers are
being lucky.
Yeah, so she's there. I think she was also in Joker. And she was in Bullet Train, and she fights in Bullet. Did you watch Bullet Train? The one
is she the one that gets hit with the
venom?
Poison?
Yeah,
like, bitch.
Yeah. That
was a good one too. That's a good movie.
It's cool seeing her in stuff. I want to watch Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Is she in that one too?
Because she's in that one too. Yeah,
okay. I heard that one's good.
She's been in a lot of stuff lately, so I feel like she's like coming up for doing some cool stuff.
I didn't realize this about Patricia Arquette. I remember her being in Medium, the TV series that was like on in the mid 2000s. Talk about someone who went from being like in movies and then like movie career wasn't like kind of started dwindling. So she did TV and then resurgence again in movies and then kicking ass in TV with Severance. What a career.
Yeah, for real.
Well, then we have Balthazar Getty, crazy name. Who plays Pete Dayton. He was in Lord of the Flies and Young Guns 2. I recognized him. I'm like, I've seen this guy and stuff, but I couldn't like remember. And then I'm like, I've seen both these movies. I just don't remember him in either of them.
I've never seen this. I mean, I've seen I've seen he was in Lord of the Flies. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Saw the movie like in middle school.
Yeah, I've never seen this man in my whole entire life, so it was wild. And then looking up his name, I was like, "There's no way this dude is real."
Balthazar is a crazy name. Like people in Hollywood change their name all the time. This he's like, I'm rocking with
Balthazar. I'm gonna go Balthazar. I'm gonna get the craziest name out there.
Is he a Getty? Maybe he's related to Getty. Maybe that's why he had the last name.
Oh, yo, maybe. Yeah, he might be.
Might have the connects.
Yeah.
Then we have Robert Loggia as Mr. Eddie / Dick Laurent. And he was in Big, also in Independence Day, plays the general, and Scarface. He's a guy that you see him, you're like, oh, I've seen this dude in a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Especially growing up, like a bunch of like 90s, 2000 movies. He's always just there.
And then Robert Blake.
Dude.
Notorious Robert Blake as the mystery man.
I looked up Robert Blake after this, and his most best role that he's known for is for being a convicted killer, Perry Smith, in the movie In Cold Blood from 1967. It's on my list now. I'm actually gonna watch it tonight because, man, Robert Blake, like, I know it's also writing too. I think I mentioned this. Like,
well, he was a big time actor back in the day.
I know, and so I'm excited to see what he did because of like he was really cool in this movie. I can't imagine him being a fully fleshed out character, like having his own thing. I'm excited because he plays such a creepy dude in this movie.
Well, you remember, he also beat a murder case.
Like in real life?
Yeah, you don't remember the Robert Blake case in the early 2000s? They said he shot his wife in the face.
What?
Outside of a restaurant. He was acquitted, so he wasn't found guilty for that crime, but he was found guilty in civil court, but not in criminal court.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I guess like his wife was found shot dead in there outside of a restaurant in the car. And they asked him, like, where was he? And he's like, oh, I left my gun inside the restaurant. I went back to get it. When I came back, she was shot. So,
wow.
And he was also in Beretta, which is a popular like action show from the 80s, 70s.
Holy shit.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, is this the Robert Blake from like the trial? And then I looked, I was like, oh shit. I knew he was an actor.
Yeah.
He was good in this movie though.
Damn, I had no idea. That's funny that you say that though, because it is like I'm on his wiki page, but I stopped at the top. It said he's best known for. I didn't continue reading down where it says he was arrested. But yeah, now I gotta look that up too. This guy's an interesting dude.
He's an interesting character.
You know, in all of the scenes that he's in, he never blinks.
No, he doesn't.
Just a fucking menace. In acting and in real life.
Yep, he's a weird guy.
Yeah.
And then I just added her because I thought she was hot, but Natasha Gregson as Sheila. Mm-hmm. She was an urban legend, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, not the TV series, and High Fidelity.
Nice. She was. Yeah.
And then I'm just going to name these three characters just because they were notable, I guess you could say, like
people.
So Gary Busey's in this movie. He plays his dad. But
plays
he like
Pete's dad.
Yeah, Bill Dayton, but he doesn't really get a lot of lines. Richard Pryor's in this movie for like a scene.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a guy who works with him at like the mechanic shop.
Yeah.
And then Henry Rollins, the musician, is a security guard.
Yep.
And I was like, what? I'm like, is that fucking Henry Rollins in this movie?
Yeah, I said the same thing. She was hilarious.
Crazy cast.
Giovanni Ribisi from
Boiler Room. He's also in it too.
Yeah, he's in it too.
He's one of the friends, right?
He's one of Pete's friends.
I like visit him that like one time.
In the very beginning, yeah. When they visit him and then they all go out to like go to a bar and do kid shit.
Yeah. Although I think he's supposed to be an adult, right?
Oh, young adult shit.
Yeah. But he still lives with his parents.
It happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely way more now than back then, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's synopsisize and then we'll get through the movie. Jazz saxophonist Fred Madison lives a cold, emotionally distant life with his wife, Renee. Their marriage is haunted by jealousy, silence, and emotional disconnection. Strange videotapes begin appearing on their doorstep, each revealing increasingly invasive footage of their home before eventually showing something horrifying. Fred standing over Renee's brutally murdered body. Fred is convicted of the crime and sentenced to death, but before his execution, something impossible happens. Fred inexplicably disappears from his prison cell, and in his place is Pete Dayton, a young auto mechanic with no memory of how he arrived there. Pete returns to his ordinary life, but soon becomes involved with gangster Mr. Eddie and falls into an affair with Alice Wakefield, a blonde woman who appears nearly identical to Renee. As Pete descends deeper into criminal violence, erotic obsession, and increasingly surreal encounters with the mysterious pale-faced mystery man, the boundaries between Pete and Fred begin collapsing. The film spirals into an endless cycle of shifting identities, recurring violence, impossible timelines, and fragmented memories. Characters seem to transform into one another, places repeat themselves, and the story ultimately loops back towards its own beginning. By the final moments, Lost Highway abandons traditional narrative entirely.
Hell yeah. That was a good way to do it. I was actually curious on how you were gonna like
Tie them
explain what
together.
happens. Yeah. Yeah. I will say I was confused as fuck watching this movie. I had to watch it twice. But that was my fault because I ate some edibles before watching the movie the first time, so I was very lost. Like the highway, but I went back and I found my way.
So I've only saw one, so you probably for sure have a better. Um,
I wouldn't say better. I have a general idea of what's going on, I think, but
the movie's weird. Like I think so. There's plot A, plot B. We'll break it down like how we've been doing it: character setting, ambiance of the film, and then like we'll get through the Lynch of it all at the end. I think, but we'll start with plot A, and then we'll move to plot B, and we'll do the same format.
okay.
Okay, start with plot A. I think out of the two plots, B is less confusing than A is.
Yeah.
But let's start with A.
Yeah.
The setting.
LA.
LA. I thought it was interesting. It's different from maybe it isn't different, but I'm trying to think of other Lynch movies because the movie basically the first part just takes place in their house.
Hmm. I think we get like one scene in the
We get
nightclub of Bill Pullman.
two cuts
Or,
to the nightclub.
yeah, yeah.
So
But
like it establishes that he's a musician, he's a saxophonist.
yeah. But for the most part, it's his nice ass house.
The nice ass house. He's a very successful saxophonist.
He has a sun window, like a roof cutout window. Sun just beams in.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much he made it.
That's just nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And then we see that it's basically him and then his bombshell of a wife, Renee.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it seems like there's tension in the marriage, but I didn't really pick on it too much. But we'll get to that right now. I forgot we're talking about the setting.
Yeah.
We got his nice ass house.
Yeah.
We got the club a la Blue Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Lynch has this weird thing with music. A lot of his movies have somebody who does performances.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah. I just realized that right now.
Hmm.
A lot of nightclub scenes. They're like not even nightclubs in the sense that people are dancing. It's just like people are watching like small time musicians do their thing.
Yeah.
I guess that is still technically a nightclub, but it's like the old school version of it.
Well, I think it like that's also where interesting things happen too, or like people are interacting. I guess it's a way for him to move the story forward without like needing to do a lot, because in those scenes we see from Fred's point of view like specific stuff happening.
Do you think it's like representing just like a passage of time?
I think so, or like, yeah, probably more passage of time. We'll way to give exposition without exactly saying the words. Sometimes in like those specific scenes where the people are watching. What's another scene in another movie where someone's in a nightclub?
Blue Velvet.
Oh yeah, when she's singing Blue Velvet to everyone.
They have two nightclub scenes. There's the theater in Mulholland Drive.
Oh yeah.
Where it says no mas. Remember what she says at the dry clean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. Wild at Heart. No, they're at like a casino in that one. I don't think Wild at Heart has one. Might just be those three.
That's a good question. We can bring it in when we do our full Lynch analysis of like the similarities between his movies. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I guess outside of the passage of time, like we don't really get much from the club. I mean, we do get that little scene where we see Renee with the guy Andy.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really know who that character is until we get the third set piece of this is when they're at Andy's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's throwing like a party, and that's where we get kind of introduced to some of the like major players.
Yep. That's when you get the mystery man.
And we get the mystery man, we get Andy. I think this is where we actually get to see some of the like tension between Renee and Fred.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this the party very much I think does a good job of showing that Fred's kind of an outsider.
Yeah.
Like he seems very uncomfortable there.
Very, very uncomfortable. He's like not talking to anyone, ordering 2 double shots of whiskey.
Yeah. He's getting after it.
Yeah.
And I think that takes us to our characters. Let's start with the minor ones. We have the mystery man. What'd you think of the mystery man in part A?
His presence was terrifying. When I think in no, actually almost the whole movie, this almost felt like mild horror. Like it just made you feel uncomfortable. Anytime the mystery man was in a scene, it was an uncomfortable scene. But I think Lynch does that in some of his movies, right? Where it's kind of like it just makes you feel weird, like something feels off about this. And
he's for sure the Lynchiest of the group of guys.
Yeah, yeah. Mystery Man is like this. That's the guy David Lynch calls when he wants to like creep you out, and it worked. I think it worked perfect. Robert Blake doing that, man, not blinking whatsoever. His face is pure white. He doesn't have eyebrows for some reason. He just staring. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's an interesting character for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's equally parts terrifying and like nondescript. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one else around the party reacts to him except for Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Like Andy was like, "Oh yeah, that's like what does he say? It's Laurent's friend, Dick Laurent's friend."
Mm-hmm.
But like he's like not really tripping on him. He's like, "I don't know, he's just his homie."
Yeah.
But like he's such a creep, and then especially when we connect him to I think the other horror aspect of this part A is like the videotapes.
Mm-hmm.
So like quick rundown: the videotapes basically film Fred's and Renee's house, and it gets more and more in depth. It starts at just the outside, then it goes to the outside to them sleeping, and then the final tape is him standing over like the chopped up body of Renee.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't understand the mystery man. Who do you think he is?
I think he's Fred. I think he's like a person. He's like Fred's like subconscious like villain coming out into the world.
How could Andy see him then while also talking?
I think that in the very after the first tape comes in, they call the cops, and then the cops are like, "Do you have any camcorder or do you have any video recorders here?" And then Fred's like, "Nah, I hate them because I only like to see things. I like to remember things the way I like to remember them." And I feel like that immediately gives us a clue that Fred is a not trustworthy narrator. And so everything that we're seeing in the movie is all based off of what Fred believes he's seen. And so I think that the mystery man, because I mean, we see like jumping ahead later on, there's like a scene between the mystery man and Fred and Dick Laurent where they're all three together. And I like the way the mystery man and Fred interact makes me think that they're just the same person. It's just the mystery man is like the physical embodiment of like the evil that's within Fred.
Interesting. I like that. I think that kind of makes sense because I like we'll touch on this with B because I always I could touch on it a little bit now, but I thought Fred and Pete were the same person.
I think that too.
I thought it was supposed to be like a dual timeline.
Yeah.
Like Fred is older Pete.
Mm-hmm.
And then but I get because like when Andy says like when Fred's talking to Andy, he's like, who is that guy? Like, oh, that's like Dick Laurent's friend.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if so do you think he was just picturing the mystery man, but it was just some random ass dude? Like one of his goons?
I think he was making all that up. I think
Oh, you don't think he actually talked to Andy?
Yeah, I think all of B, and so I didn't get this until after I watched it a second time, and then I was like reading about the way David Lynch wanted to film this movie, where he's like he describes it as like a fugue state, someone going through a fugue state. Do you know what a fugue state is?
Is that like when you see red?
No, I don't know what people see. Well, typically during the time when people are going through it, they're going through like a really like chaotic amnesic episode where like they don't understand what's going on, and so in some of those times they may potentially people that going through that may potentially come up with their own like personality and characteristics. And so reading that and then thinking about the movie, I feel like he created Fred after he killed his wife, and he came up with this whole like story to help him come to terms with the fact that he actually murdered his wife because he was so like distant and like not trusting of not just her but like everyone in the world. I mean, he's like isolated, right, in that big house. He doesn't have anyone else besides her. um he thinks that she's potentially cheating on him. I think we get that in like a scene where he's laying in bed and he's like playing back a memory from the club where he sees his wife walking with Andy.
Yeah.
And he like, I think in that scene we're meant to believe that Fred believes that his wife is cheating on him, and then just the way his wife acts with her potentially could be, you know, maybe she is, but we don't get that confirmation from him. And so he murders his wife, and then he comes up with this whole other plot afterwards to kind of like do it in a fugue state.
I guess I could see that because the one scene that made me believe that he did do the crime was when we get that him like walking into the darkness of his own home.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's just like this, especially watching this on like on an OLED.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just a black hallway.
Dark, yeah.
And like you just see his head because he's wearing a black shirt.
Yeah.
And then like he goes into it and he's just standing staring at a reflection of himself. Yeah. And the person that comes out, I don't think was the same person that went in.
Yeah.
So that I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, did he like snap? Did he lose it? I'm like, is that how he? Because I did think he killed his wife, but I was like, at first I was like, is the mystery man supposed to be like death or something? Did he like make him do it? Like, is he some kind of like demon or some shit?
I thought that too the first time around, that like Dick Laurent hired this like fucking crazy hitman, and the hitman knows how to make people go crazy before they like do some type of murder and then they get convicted. Like I thought this whole like other thing, and I feel like that I could understand like just viewing that viewpoint too if you don't want to get like too deeper into it. Because I also think the fun in this is that fucking David Lynch doesn't answer anything about his movies. You know what I mean? Like he'll just
all up for interpretation.
Yeah, he'll put a movie out and he'll be like, "Well, that's kind of it," you know, and like people will interview him and ask him questions, so he won't answer, you know. So I feel like that's the fun in David Lynch's movies, and I think in this movie particularly, I think we can go really deep, but also at like a surface level, like if all of this happened the way it actually happened, the mystery man is so crazy because when that dude calls you, like you're gonna go through some like trippy ass shit, you know?
Yeah, because like when he's like, I'm in your house right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, I've always been there. And it's like, oh shit, who's this fucking weird dude?
Yeah.
And then what'd you think of Renee?
I think Renee felt really flat. And I think it's a mixture of her like writing, but also I think that she was unhappy in that relationship, right? I think they wrote her to be unhappy and to be just really like the way she delivers her lines as Renee compared to when she delivers her lines as Alice, completely different. As Alice, she's a totally different person. She's like confident. She's, she goes over to Pete like, "Yo, I want to take you out," but as Renee, like she just like
She's like muted.
really muted, and this is just how she talks all the time. And that's it. That's all we get. And then she dies. So I wanted a little bit more because I like black haired Patricia Arquette, but
Yeah.
but blonde Patricia Arquette,
Do you think she was a twin?
no.
Interesting. So you think that picture where there's two of them is just like there's not actually two people in that picture?
When the detectives go in later on and they look at that picture, there's no blonde twin. It's only Renee.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either until I watched it again, and I was like, "Oh fuck, there's no blonde twin there."
Oh, okay. I think that gives a lot of credence to your theory for sure.
Hell yeah.
That he made a bunch of shit up.
Yeah, he just made it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That definitely puts the film into a way better context. But that's it. Those are like our three characters for all of plot A.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we get, Henry Rollins and like little side characters.
Yeah, randos.
Then we flip over to
and this is like an hour of a movie too, because this movie is what, like 2.5 hours? I think the
15.
first hour is just Fred's story.
It's crazy because like not a lot happens for it taking as much. Like it's a slightly not as long as the second half, and the second half feels like a completely different movie.
Yeah, for real.
I think the trippiest part that happens in the second half is that we have what is it? Well, we'll go through the where it starts off in the jail. Basically, the like connecting between the first half and the second half is the jail cell where they have Fred there. He's like in solitary confinement because he's got convicted for murder. He's gonna go be shocked on the chair. And he's complaining about this migraine. And like he's like looks like he's like ripping his skin off, and then he becomes Pete Dayton.
Pete Dayton.
And that's where we start off.
And I like that when the security guards come over and they're like they show the warden, or the warden looks at Pete, and then he turns around to the security guard and he's like, that's not Fred. And then the security guard's like, there's some freaky shit going on here. I was like, good call out, brother. Just in case no one knew, some freaky ass shit.
And then I like how the parents show up. He's all like sad, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
My mistake. I don't know how he got there."
I know.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. There was some comedic, like dark comedy in this.
Yeah. The second half.
That might just be like my humor. Oh no, cool. It wasn't just me.
No, the second half had some funny moments.
Yeah, it did. Sorry, but go back to setting.
The setting feels like a movie.
Yeah, because it's the rest of LA and like
bigger. Fred's gallivanting, or not Fred. Pete's gallivanting around. Like the only real like repeating area is
the motel,
and I guess the mechanic shop, because that's how we get introduced to Mr. Eddie and we meet Alice.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it feels like they go to a bunch of different fucking locations, and it's not. I don't know. It just feels like a completely different movie.
It does. The tone kind of shifts and it becomes a little bit more of like I think that this is more than like old noir.
Yeah, because Alice is your classic femme fatale.
Yeah, 100%. I love the scene when he first sees her and like music starts playing and they're just like making like hard eye contact. I was like, damn, it fits for the way that she looks in this movie. It's very nice.
He's locked in.
He's so locked in. Yeah. I would be too. I mean, I get it.
I mean, she comes through. We'll just get to the characters. So let's start off with we'll start off with we'll actually end with the mystery man on this one.
Okay.
But we start off with we meet Mr. Eddie or Dick Laurent, which I think is both his names.
Mm-hmm.
We did touch on something, but one thing that comes important is with Andy's character. When Fred's talking to Andy and he says, "Oh, that's Dick Laurent, Fred. Dick Laurent's Fred." Fred tells Andy, "Well, I thought Dick Laurent was dead." And Andy's like, "Dick Laurent, how do you know Dick Laurent's dead?" He's like, "Don't say that. Dick Laurent isn't dead."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, who the fuck is Dick Laurent?
Yeah, and you have no idea at that point in time. Yeah.
And then we meet Mr. Eddie. And I assumed Mr. Eddie and Dick Laurent are the same guy. Because he's obviously this gangster. And and Pete's his mechanic.
Car guy. Yeah.
What'd you think of Mr. Eddie?
What a presence. I feel like any scene that he was in, he really like controlled that whole scene. The way he mobs into to the mechanic shop and just pulls Pete into his car and like takes him on a drive so Pete can like fix his car because he hears something like off with it was such a boss move. Like this dude has so much power. It's crazy. Also, he's like a super stickler for driving too, which is just a fucking nightmare.
Was hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Hilarious.
That scene was so funny.
I laughed so hard during that. Because
that was a classic Lynch scene.
Yeah, 100%. Just and laid out for the listeners. You haven't seen it. Someone they're driving on a highway road in the mountains. Someone starts tailgating. Dick Laurent or Mr. Eddie lets him pass and then speeds up and hits him, almost pushes him off the side of the mountain, pulls him out of his car, starts beating the shit out of him. And while he's doing that, he's explaining statistics of crashes based off of tailgating and the amount of distance that you need in order to brake safely. Such a hilarious fucking scene, dude. There's so much passion that Robert Loggia is that put into this when he's yelling at that guy. Oh man, it was hilarious.
So hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that scene. It was so like random.
Yeah.
But I think it portrayed like how much of a psychopath like Dick Laurent, Mr. Eddie is.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Like he was ready to murder this dude for tailgating him, and not because he tailgated him, it's because what he did is dangerous for the road.
I mean, I get it, dude. Sometimes I want to beat up a fucking tailgater.
So unhinged. So unhinged. But he was great. He was a presence, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Every interaction he has with Pete is great. Like when he threatens him afterwards, when he kind of learns like, "Oh, you're sleeping with my girl."
Yeah.
And he basically tells him to like back off or I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Like that scene was good. Like he went from being like, "Hey kid, like you're my guy," to being like, "Oh, you crossed the line. Like, am I gonna have to take care of this?"
Yeah.
It was great. You played a great gangster.
But I feel like the whole time, even though Pete was his guy, I never felt like Pete was safe. Because Dick Laurent was just like popping off like that all the fucking time. So it was really cool to just kind of see that evolution of relationship go through. But even though, yeah, it never felt safe with this dude, even from the beginning when you just pulled him out of his work to go for a car ride, you know?
Well, we learned something too that I don't know if it ever gets explained, but Pete doesn't remember what happened to him like the night before he like disappeared.
Mm-hmm. And no one will tell him.
Sheila is like, I was there, I saw what you did, and his parents saw what he did, but no one says what he did. And Mr. Eddie kind of makes it seem like Pete would sometimes do work for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think he did? Did I miss something? Is it ever explained?
I don't think that was explained, because I also thought about that too. Like the second time going through, it's like a mystery that's just kind of set up. I think Fred makes up this mystery about Pete in order to somehow explain how like Pete got sent into the prison rather than Fred being in there. You know what I mean? I think it was just it's one of those like random holes that's left open to keep it all mysterious.
Yeah, it's just an unresolved mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the bombs. Well, we'll start with Pete. I think he's a little less interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Pete just kind of goes through the motions. But we do know that he's connected because he's being tailed by the cops the whole time.
Well, I think he gets tailed by the cops because he was in the jail cell where Fred was in, and so.
Oh, you think that's why the tail end? They're like, why the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, they're like, why the fuck is this dude in jail? And then as he's in jail, the cops when he gets out and he's like interacting with all these different people, the cops are like 2 steps behind him, just kind of observing the whole time.
But they say this kid gets pussy like what they said.
Forgot what they said too, but I laughed so hard
because
I think in the same day, doesn't he end up banging both chicks?
So no, he bangs Sheila.
Yeah.
And then the next day he goes to work.
Oh, and then
that's when he meets Alice. And then Alice basically makes the moves on him and he hesitates and then he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And then him and Alice bang. And that's when the guys are like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because then the next day he hits up Alice and she's like, oh, I can't meet you. Yeah. So he's like, all right. And then he goes and picks up Sheila and then he bangs Sheila at the motel.
And then the cops are like, what a life. And then the one dude is like, Pete or us? And the cop is like, us, dude. Like, we're just sitting here watching this guy. Yeah.
It's looking funny.
Yeah. Pete's he's not boring, but he's also like he's just going through everything. I feel like, and going back to like my idea of Fred making up Pete, I think Fred makes Pete this like everything that Fred is not, in terms of like he's getting laid all the time. He's got like a good job, got all these friends and shit like that. But he's also just not interesting, because I think at the core, he's technically Fred.
He's just driven by pussy, it feels like.
Pussy, yeah. That's all he wants.
Or passion, I guess.
Yeah.
I do like, which is a stark difference, I think, which I was thinking about, because I was like, with Patricia Arquette, she's like naked most of the movie. Not most of it, but she gets naked a lot. She's very attractive in this movie. There's a lot of sex in this movie. More so, I think, it's less sexual, I think, than Wild at Heart. Like Wild at Heart's like aggressively sexual.
Yeah.
Where this is more like classily done, but sex plays a big part into the story.
Yeah.
But in this movie, at least with the Pete story, with story B, the male character isn't really given much agency. And Patricia Arquette is actually the driving force of the second narrative. What did you think of her? I thought she was captivating. She did her switch from being like oh my God, are you going to rescue me, to I didn't kill him, you killed him.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh shit, I knew she was fucking playing his ass.
Yeah. Yeah. She was great. I really liked her as Alice in this way more than Renee. She just has so much character, so much more, like she's more driven, more smart. Like, yeah.
Who do you think was the real version of her?
Renee. Oh, I think she was Alice in the beginning of their relationship. I think Fred and Renee, I think when they first met, the Alice that we see is the young version of Renee. And then as they've gone through the relationship, you get tired, you're stuck in this like multi-year kind of horror. And then she became the Renee that we meet in the beginning of the movie. But I think Fred is remembering her as how she was.
Yeah, because near the end, when he finally deals with Dick and he's sleeping with Alice, it's Renee. Like, she has dark hair. I think that's when he becomes Fred again.
Yeah.
I think that's where it goes full circle. So I guess we'll get into that a little later. Well, right after this, I want to finish up on Alice. I think that scene connects well with the mystery man.
Yeah.
So do you think they were this Bonnie and Clyde couple then? Do you think Alice and him were this fiery relationship in the beginning, or do you think he made that all up? Like, do you think they killed Andy, that Alice was in porn?
I I think she was, yeah, because it didn't she didn't they meet at the club or something like that? I remember there being a conversation where someone mentioned that they met at a club, and maybe it was oh no, I think Renee says that she met Andy at the club, and then in Pete's story, Alice says that she met Mr. Eddie through Andy at the club.
And then that's what he asks. He's like, "You do pornos?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah, but
And
then we
he's
see
like,
her, and
"She does porn."
she does, yeah, and she's dark haired, so she's Renee, right?
Oh yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
yeah, and so I think that she probably was a little bit more like fiery,
Did
just
you
out.
recognize the porn star? One of them?
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. When I was like, is that Marilyn Manson? I had to look it up after the movie ended, and it was. It's kind of crazy that they just put him put him in the movie, you know.
The
But
soundtrack, we didn't really talk about it, but the soundtrack in part B is just like all Marilyn Manson.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Marilyn Manson and a little bit of Nine Inch Nails. I know Trent
Yeah.
Reznor did some of the music for it too. Beyond Angelo Bala.
I feel like Angela was used a lot for the first half of the movie.
Yeah, yeah, because it's more like your traditional like score, whereas the second part B is more like music that we get from Manson and Trent.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think he fabricated then that whole instance, or do you think they did kill somebody?
Oh, like if they killed Andy or not?
Yeah.
I think everything that happened in B is Fred in a fugue state and just like making up shit in his brain to somehow justify the fact that he killed his wife. Like it's a whole mystery that he set up with his wife and him at the core of it. So then he can come up with like some type of plot to be able to like pull her out of where she was at. Um, you know, potentially kill Dick Laurent, I guess, as like a revenge because she wasn't maybe in porn before they were in a relationship. Um,
Or maybe she was cheating on him.
Maybe she was too. Yeah.
Because he can't, like, because Dick Laurent, I guess was this so nice segue to the mystery, man.
Mm-hmm.
They go to that, like, they kill Andy, which is a gnarly death.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't expecting Andy to die that way at all.
When he gets like basically his head almost sliced in half with a glass table, but it stops like halfway through.
Yeah. That like after that, I've always wanted a nice glass like coffee table. But after I saw that scene, I was like, dude, I don't think I can get a coffee table anymore. Like you can see my coffee table back here. These corners aren't sharp, but I looked at the corners and I was like, dude, I feel like if I fell hard enough, that probably same thing would probably happen to me here.
It'd fuck you up.
And a glass table just sounds even worse now. That's is kind of crazy.
That was a wild death. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah.
But when they kill him and then they go and they escape to that cabin to meet the fence so they can get like a new identity.
Mm-hmm.
The fence isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, let's kill time by having sex in the car. And then she says something like, she's like, oh, say you want me. He's like, I want you. She's like, you'll never have me.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just leaves. And I was like, oh shit. And then he freaks out again and becomes Fred and she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes back to the city. And then I think it could be narrative, but I think he does catch her cheating on him. I think he was right. Because she's banging, unless he imagined that, but she's sleeping with
Dick, right?
With Dick.
Yeah.
And that's when he meets the mystery man, right? Where does he meet him at?
Oh yeah. I think they meet out
at his house, right?
At his house, yeah. Yeah, they meet at his house.
And then he's like, oh, I know where your wife is pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right, let's go. And then that's why I was surprised. But once you brought up, you said your theory, I was like, actually, all the pieces actually kind of fall into place. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
because they both take Mr. Eddie together
Mm-hmm.
and they execute him and then blow up that cabin.
Yeah. I
And
also
go ahead. I was saying then the movie ends with him like being on the run.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is it ending like this? Like, no, this is before he got caught and gets put into jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all like one big loop. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it still works even though he goes back, and yeah, she probably was just sleeping with Dick Laurent then. But I thought it was crazy that in the beginning it starts off with that phone call, and Fred picks up the phone, and it's the mystery man's voice in the beginning, and the mystery man says Dick Laurent is dead, and then he hangs up. But when we get to the end of the movie, it's him calling the same phone, and he says Dick Laurent is dead, and then he hangs up, and then he goes on the highway chase.
That's right.
Yeah. Still, what a wild thing. You mentioned something else that I forgot what it was. Fuck. I think I lost it. It's okay.
This movie makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It
I
is
had to watch it
interesting
twice.
Though. No, yeah, that makes sense. The second watching would have helped clear things up.
Yeah.
I
also think talking about it helps too, because it connected missing pieces for me, like you mentioning that she was actually sleeping with Dick Laurent. Because I forgot about that ending scene.
Yeah, like
because I feel like once we get to the end, like once we finish Pete's story and it goes back to Fred, all that happens in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
like he drives over because what things are happening that kind of like were tripping me out because he gets in like the whole time Pete has a black car.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they leave Andy's house, his car's red.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, that's Fred's car.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, why does he have Fred's car? Like, oh, the two like realities merging.
Yeah.
And then they get to the place and all that happens. And then when he goes back, I'm like, well, if Dick Laurent was out to kill him, how does he like surprise him while he's having sex with Renee?
Mm-hmm.
And then in my head, I'm like, oh, I guess they must have been twins. But if I would have recognized the photo thing, I'd have been like, oh no, she doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because David Lynch doesn't really do any of the like tells that let you know that like it's all a dream, all like Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
Sad ending, by the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I kind of thought it was real. Like, how are these two stories gonna mesh? I thought they were doing like this is like the past version of him.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is like where he ends up ultimately. I was like, oh, he eventually kills the femme fatale. Like he doesn't trust her basically ever.
Yeah.
But no. But then when he catches her banging Dick Laurent, I was like, okay, maybe that's why he murders her because their relationship was already on the rocks.
Yeah. Yep. We also know nothing about the real Dick Laurent. We only know the Dick Laurent
from Mr.
the
Eddie.
story. Yeah. We just know whatever story Fred had created through like Pete, which I think is a really cool kind of thing too. So we don't really know if like we don't know anything about it, you know. I think it's just a wild thought.
All right, then we get to it. I think this movie is David Lynch's perfect balance of weird and not weird.
Yeah, I agree. I really like this movie.
It wasn't weird to the sense where like I feel like Mulholland Drive and Inland Empire especially or even Eraserhead are just like really weird, uncomfortable scenes. Like he doesn't have any of those in this.
I think he does, but it's the mystery man.
Yeah.
You know, and like
but there's no like close up on bugs in the grass or anything.
Oh.
There's like none of that shit.
Yeah. No, you're right.
There's like no spermatozoids. There's no like inner weird monologue.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like even though it's not a to B story, it feels like even though it's segmented, it feels like each segment has like a story, like a through line that you can follow.
Yeah.
Like I guess the jail cell when he like morphs is pretty weird, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I think it's not his like Lynchiest movie, but I feel like it's enough Lynch and he does enough like I think if you think about it, it's also one of his other movies because I think he has a couple where it's like an actual just straight line through. This one, like, yeah, it kind of loops in on itself, but for the most part, like it's just a straight story all the way through, which I really like because it's like a blend of two things that I enjoy. I love good stories and I love weird shit, and I feel like he blended in enough weird into this to make it like interesting, but not overly weird that I wouldn't feel uncomfortable showing this to people. You know, I would feel weird showing a Eraserhead to people.
Yes, Eraserhead, I would feel weird.
Yeah.
And Inland Empire.
And in Inland Empire, yeah. Yeah.
I think all his other movies, like even Mulholland Drive is a little weird, makes sense because like it kind of does the same thing as this movie in being like, oh, it was all in her head.
Mm-hmm.
Like she created a persona for herself, but she's actually not this person.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, but were there any Lynchisms that stood out?
No. 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 I just
weirdly non-misogynistic film.
Weirdly, right? I had that idea in my brain the whole time too, just after all the conversations that we've had about Lynch, analyzing his movies, thinking about it. I think maybe one piece is that he has Patricia Arquette like naked for like half the movie. She's very sexualized, very, very sexualized.
I think in the first half, I thought the same thing. I was just like, oh, like her character has no agency. She's just like his hot wife, like I guess. But I think in the second half, it makes sense because she's supposed to be like a classic femme fatale.
It so takes she's on like, its own personality.
Like her sex is her weapon.
Yeah.
Like that's how she like, she basically gets Pete to like be her fall guy.
Yeah.
Because like what?
Yes, but then we're also thinking because that Pete story is technically Fred's story, so it's technically Fred like demonizing this woman for potentially thinking that for demonizing this woman because she's pretty, and like he thinks that she's using sex as like a weapon.
I guess it's true. That's true too. Yeah, that is an underlining message.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good point, actually.
Did we come back to it? I think we came back to it. He might still be, but you know, I like this movie. This movie was cool.
I think it was cool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any interesting facts about it?
I think I read that he came up with the name of this, or he came up with this movie when he was shooting Wild at Heart, and it just kind of like came to him of like another couple that was like going through a lot of like hard shit, and I thought that was really interesting because Wild at Heart, again, another like couple movie. It just, yeah, I think that was one small thing that I found.
Interesting.
How about you?
No, I just got I love that my boy Ebert has basically something to say about all of Lynch's films.
Okay.
He didn't give it on a 1 to 4, but him and Gene Siskel, his partner in crime, they gave it 2 thumbs down. Those they had their show. They gave it a thumb down. He said Ebert argued that Lynch effectively puts images on the screen and uses a strong soundtrack to create a mood, but the film does not make sense and that it is about design and not cinema. He's very saying it's all flash, no substance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? I don't entirely disagree with Ebert's take. I feel like Lynch has other movies that have a lot more substance. Where this one felt like Lynch was like, you know what? You know what this felt like? And I haven't seen the full thing, so I could be completely wrong, but I've seen a few episodes. This feels like his first attempt at making what Twin Peaks became. He's like, I want to make like a murder mystery movie. And like he made this and he's like, I'm gonna do it in like part of it's gonna be a classic film noir, but it's also like a psychological thriller. And then Twin Peaks is that. I don't know if it's a film noir, but it is like a murder mystery psychological thriller show.
Yeah.
It's considered by many people to be like a masterpiece of the small screen. So I wonder if this is like him dipping his toe in that, which is then later refined. Because he reuses this idea of the of the fractured mind in Mulholland Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is done better there. And then the mystery part is done better in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, maybe. I know Twin Peaks was early 90s.
Oh, it was early 90s. You're right.
But Wild at Heart also came out early 90s as well when he was forming the idea for this. So potentially it could have been two-folded because Wild at Heart and Twin
I forgot
Peaks,
this movie was 97. Yeah.
yeah, both of those released in the early 90s. But this was still like an idea that he had. So potentially, yeah, maybe he had.
So maybe this is his first.
Maybe it was other.
It was just his first shot at doing what Mulholland Drive ended up being.
Yeah, more like actual film noir kind of weirdness. Yeah, that's still cool though.
The story we tell ourselves.
The one thing I will say about this movie compared to the other ones is that I feel like we had to pull a lot from implied like ideas, or like the whole idea of me saying that Fred is imagining Pete's story. Like, I feel like I had to watch it again to get that. Whereas with his other movies, we didn't have to do that too much, right?
But I feel like we got there without getting there, because you said I think we had both the same idea when we first saw the movie that Pete is young Fred.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. So like Pete meets Renee, or I thought they were twins, but then I guess, but I thought this was him when he was younger, and then this is what their relationship ended up being like at the end. Like ultimately, the Bonnie and Clyde thing ended with like him killing her. Like I thought that's what the movie was. So it's like we kind of got there. I just didn't understand who the fuck the mystery man was.
Yeah. I was
true. Like, oh, is this a demon that's just influencing him or some shit? Like David Lynch is like now doing like some supernatural shit.
Yeah.
But then it being like actually him, that's like his dark persona. I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
And I think the way the reason why Mystery Man has a video recorder is because that's like that's actual, was it objective reality, where like
that's what actually happened.
Yeah, that's the real stuff that's like actually going on. So he carries that with him everywhere when he's doing his shit, because he can really show you what's going on, because that's, I think, the real Fred in a way.
And it doesn't pop up in the second half.
What?
The video recorder?
Oh yeah, it doesn't. No, it not until the conclusion when he comes out of the cabin with the camcorder. That's it.
All right, should we get to our reviews?
Get it.
All right, so Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a 70%. Actually, I didn't check the popcorn meter. Let me see it real quick. Oh shit! As an 87% on the popcorn meter. So audiences like it. Audiences like it more than critics. It has a 7.6 on IMDb with a 4.1 on Letterboxd. Cea, this has been. Oh, it has to be mentioned. This movie had absolutely nothing to do with the Black Dahlia.
yeah, it did. I feel like the only thing that you can pull is, and you said it in the beginning, like blonde-haired woman.
No, the Black Dahlia had black hair.
Black-haired woman dismembered.
Renee was giving, like, I think, Black Dahlia vibes.
Yeah,
the way she dressed and carried herself.
Yeah, and then she was murdered.
Yeah,
but that's it. There's nothing else.
Nothing else.
No other tie-ins.
All right. Well, this is your last hurrah. Why don't you start us off with your review?
I really like this movie. And maybe it was because I watched it twice that made me like it even more. I think the fact that I had to like dive in a little bit deeper to analyze and think about things just made me, I appreciated it a lot. I think all the actors in this movie, Bill Pullman, Patricia Arquette, Robert Blake, Balthazar Getty, all these people, I think they did good for what they were given, and I was really pulled into the story itself. Your boy Ebert, he's on point. I mean, David Lynch knows how to set a mood, and he sets a mood really, really well. I think we're like kind of immediately immersed into this like gritty, dark LA kind of story. Um, and it fits. I think the soundtrack, from whether it be like the music from Marilyn Manson or Trent Reznor, or like the actual sound, like score from Angelino Badalamenti. I think all of it really helps build out kind of where we're at, and I felt so immersed as I was going through everything. It was a little like creepy in the beginning, I'd say, like in story A. And in story B too, it's definitely, it's weird. It has like the Lynchisms in it, but it's not like overtly Lynch, like you mentioned. There's no like weird bug scenes that we're getting zoomed in on, but it's weird enough that like you're still gonna be confused for a little bit because you don't know what the fuck is going on and like what's real and what's not. But I feel like that's the fun that I enjoy. I like being weirded out in movies. I like not understanding what's going on and then taking the time after to like think about it and like talk about it with friends. I feel like David Lynch's movies are those type of movies that they're just, you watch them and you discuss them and you have fun and try to figure out what the fuck is going on, and I really, I like that. um, I give this movie an A.
Wow, an A.
Yeah, I really like this movie.
A.
I wouldn't say that this is gonna be for everyone though, because again, it's still a Lynch movie. So it's gonna be weird. I think you're probably gonna be confused. But I would still recommend this movie to everyone. If you're trying to get into Lynch, I think this is a good step into Lynch because it blends in, like I mentioned before, it blends both, but it's not like a Racerhead weird. It's lighter than that, but still tells like a really cool dark story. A for me.
A. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not
I found my new David Lynch like favorite movie.
really. It's your number one.
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Wow, mine's still Elephant Man. I think that's his best movie by far.
I mean,
But
he does
this
great
one,
biopics.
I'm not as high as you. I'm right there with the popcorn meter. I actually gave this movie a B plus. I actually really like this movie.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything about the movie that I didn't really like. I think it is, the mystery was confusing. It didn't really make sense to me until we talked about it. I picked up on some of the aspects of it. I understood some of what Lynch was putting down, but I couldn't fully grasp his vision on this one.
Hmm.
But I do like the movie. I think the dual narrative works. I definitely think part B is better than part A, but I think it does such a good job because part A leaves you with a lot of like what's going on, and then part B moves so fast, and it's so I think it's pretty interesting. The whole femme fatale, the chemistry between Balthazar and Patricia Arquette's characters, I think was great. I love Patricia Arquette in this movie, especially when she plays Alice. She's great in this movie. Like, she is dynamite. She's so captivating. You can't help but follow her around and just do what she asks you to do. Like, that's basically what she does. It's great. I thought Mr. Eddie with Robert Loggia was a great villain. Every scene he was in, he was so intimidating with having a smile on his face. Like, he never really does anything other than when he beats the shit out of the guy, where like he is yelling. He's just always so
Cool.
yeah, but does it in such a like kind of a scary way.
Yeah.
And then Robert Blake as a mystery man, one of Lynch's great characters. I think he's so creepy. He looks weird. He never blinks. He kind of leaves you feeling uneasy. He's the one Lynchiest thing of this movie. He's like the one Lynchism because he's so out of place in this movie compared to everything else. Like, he's so out of place. Like, I feel like the movie could have still worked without him, but having him in there just gave another level of like mystery to it and kind of left the audiences wondering like what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend this movie to people. I think this is a good number 2 movie if you're trying to like dip your toe into Lynchism. I say this one's shouldn't be your first movie because it is a little confusing. I think he has other weird movies that you could start with that are easier to follow. We'll go over that in a second because I want to get your thoughts, but I give it a B plus. I recommend it. It was cool. There wasn't too much I didn't like about it. I just don't think it was in the A range good compared to some of his other movies that I have graded a little higher, but I did really enjoy this movie and I would show this movie to people. I think it's one to check out. I was surprised because I know this is a lot of critics said this movie doesn't really make any sense, like it doesn't go anywhere. And while watching it, I was like, this movie's pretty good. I think it's like, yeah, it's hard to follow, but not like to the point where like nothing happens. I was expecting it to be like more like Inland Empire where nothing happens really. Yeah. You're like, what is this movie? Yeah, it wasn't like that. I think this had a pretty good story. So B plus, I would recommend it for sure.
Hell yeah.
So if you had to, now that we finished Lynch's discography or filmography, if you had to tell somebody that wants to get into Lynch and you had to recommend them one movie to start with to introduce them to Lynch, which movie would you have them start with?
Lost Highway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that
because to me, like I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like I feel like Blue Velvet. We'll start at the beginning. Eraserhead's like crazy.
Too weird.
Elephant Man and Straight Story are both biopics.
I think Elephant Man and Straight Story are great films. They are so different.
They're not Lynch
from the rest of Lynch's filmography. I'm not gonna say they're not Lynch.
They are Lynch, but they're not like
they're the side of Lynch that he doesn't really do.
Yeah, but he does it so well. Like
he does three movies that I think are completely separate from the rest of his filmography, which are those two and Dune.
Yeah.
That I feel like they're kind of like their own thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're at the same page. So I'm getting rid of those. I'm getting rid of Dune. So I have Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart. We're also gonna get rid of Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me because we never saw that one.
You have to watch the show to get that one.
Yeah, so we got Dune, Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and Inland Empire. I would say from all of those, like I feel like Lost Highway to me feels like the most like entertaining, not super cheesy, not like overly like Lynch. Like I feel like it's just a solid like movie that it's like a thriller mystery that you're kind of going through. It doesn't feel like overtly like all the like the characters are saying things really weird. Like maybe in the beginning, what's her name? In the beginning, I think Renee's lines mentioned that they're a little bit flat, like the acting's like a little bit weird. But I think for the most part, like everyone else is written in such a well way that I don't know, it worked.
I think that's the second movie you go with.
Which one's for you?
I think Blue Velvet's the number one.
Blue Velvet.
It's more of a point A to point B movie. I feel like Lost Highway, like if you never would have saw it the second time, most of this episode would have been us trying to figure out what the movie was about.
Yeah.
Like how the two stories connect.
That's true.
I think Blue Velvet.
I put in the effort.
If you only get to watch it, you only have to get it. You're only going to watch it one time.
Yeah.
Blue Velvet's a point A to point B movie, but it's sprinkled with enough Lynchisms that you get a feel for like how weird his stuff can be.
Yeah.
But it has characters that like kind of make sense. Like, what's his as the bad guy's great.
Mm-hmm.
And the main character is entertaining enough, and the story, the mystery of what's happening, is good enough that I think it'll keep most audiences entertained. Mm-hmm. And if the Lynchisms are too much for you in Blue Velvet, you're not going to enjoy the other movies.
True.
Because Blue Velvet, I feel like, is the mainstream Lynchism movie.
Yeah.
Where Wild at Heart like cranks up the sexuality to like a comical sense.
Yeah.
Lost Highway is just a little confusing, but it dials back the Lynchism, but increases the like his style of storytelling, his disconnected storytelling.
Yeah.
Mulholland Drive is a combination of I think the two, where it's weird and disconnected. And then Inland Empire is like I still think that movie doesn't make sense. It's like super experimental.
Yeah. I agree.
And then Eraserhead, you watch if you like really like the Lynch shit. Like if you're like, oh, my favorite parts of Blue Velvet were like the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Then you'll love Eraserhead.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said, except just switch Blue Velvet with Lost Highway, and that's it. Like I'm on the same page as you.
It's too confusing if you're only gonna watch it once. It's way too confusing.
Yeah.
Like if you
I think
gave it to someone without like if you saw it with someone, you're able to explain like how they connect. They're like, oh,
yeah,
what was that all about? And you talked about it, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
But if you just gave it to someone, they watched it on their own, they're like, that movie was cool, but I don't really understand like what was happening.
That's true. I guess I'm thinking of it in the analytical mind because that's how I've been watching movies lately. You
have
know,
to watch it twice to get there.
Yeah, yeah. That's
You
true.
left the first time being like, what was that?
Well, I also like took a shit ton of edibles, so that also, you know,
That'll do it. That'll do
yeah,
it too.
yeah. But that being said, I guess from like a one view watch, yeah, this one would probably be a little bit harder. But I think it's still a fun ride.
It's a good movie.
I don't know. I really like this fucking movie. Yeah. Yeah.
Very enjoyable.
Thank you for showing me a new favorite movie I have.
I know it's sad. We're done with Lynch.
What do we now? I'm gonna have to watch. I'm catching up with House of the Dragon. But once I'm done with that, then I'll put Twin Peaks on there.
I know we should do a Twin Peaks. I'm down to watch it. I'm down to do like a Twin Peaks like in like a couple months.
Like side thing. I'm down.
Yeah. All right. Well, the wheel is back, people. It is time to will it and deal it. I hope you enjoyed our journey through Lynch.
I'm sad it's over.
I know, I'm sad too.
I'm also sad I never got my like real Black Dahlia murder like movie itch.
Well, maybe we'll get one this time.
Damn, maybe. Do we have the Black Dahlia movie on here? What movie was that called again?
Remember? Don't know. I know there's a movie called Black Dahlia.
Yeah, I thought it was. I don't know. I'll look it up later. It's cool. Spin the wheel.
Whose choice is it today?
I think it could be yours because I had Lost Highway was my edge movie for the longest. You know.
All right, it'll be my choice. It's been a while since we've done this, people. So if you're new and you don't remember, or you just don't remember, the way the wheel works is we spin the wheel. It lands on a movie. You have three choices. You can either keep it, spin again, or if there's a movie on here you really want to see, you can pick it. We just finished all the Lynch movies, so the only movie on the wheel you cannot pick is Ed Wood. Let's spin it.
And if you want to add any movies, send us a message on any of our socials,
Instagram, TikTok,
and we will add it on.
Those are the only ones I check. Let's see what we get. Oh man, give us something good.
Ed Wood. Oh, it's gone.
King of Comedy. Host. Lady Vengeance.
Nice.
No, Return of the
Tom? Return of the Tomatoes.
Return of the Tomatoes.
Oh no.
Fuck it.
Here we go.
Return of the Tomatoes with George Clooney's. Return of the Tomatoes.
Is it Return of the Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow, so this is like a semi-lost tape.
Hell yeah.
Because we forgot to record that one.
That was my bad. Sorry.
We did a whole last episode and then we forgot to hit record. So that one just has our review. That's so funny.
Hell yeah.
Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
The first movie wasn't that long either, right? I think it was like
an hour 20. This one's an hour 38. But this one starts fucking George Clooney's.
Oh shit, it does.
It's young George Clooney, so it should be interesting.
Nice.
It is a 1988 movie. I think the first one was in the 70s one, isn't it?
I think so. Let me
It doesn't even have a Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, first one came out in 1978.
Yeah, this one's 10 years later.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it should have better graphics.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, the wheel has spoken. We are watching Return of the Killer Tomatoes, the sequel to Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which is actually a movie that the three of us did enjoy. We actually thought it was like a pretty good, dumb,
parody movie.
Like it was actually a lot better than we had expected it to be. It knew it was stupid and it made fun of itself. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this, and we'll see if this one holds up as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we took a break, but we will be back. If not next week, then the following. But if you guys haven't done so already, give us a follow on our social medias. We are on Instagram, TikTok, X/Twitter, YouTube, and Threads. And make sure to check out Lost Highway and all of David Lynch's filmography. Lost Highway got a highly recommend from the both of us, with Cea giving it an A and me giving it a B+. And as always, I have been your host, the Dale, followed by my co-host, Mr. Cea.
Adios.
Guys, next week. Bye.
Bye.